Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel where I share our family's debt-free journey to pay off over $500,000 of debt. I'm so glad you guys are watching this video today. I'm hoping to shed a little bit of optimism and a little bit of hope with you guys and just a few things that we're doing to kind of weather the storm. Believe me, it's not easy to stay super optimistic and energetic about paying off debt and about the economy and about our money and just all those things, our business. I mean, I've totally freaked out plenty of times. I just want you guys to know that if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. I got my Chief Optimist sweatshirt on for you guys to hopefully spread some optimism and give you guys some tips based on what we're doing as someone that's in a lot of debt. And obviously we had just our $1,000 emergency fund, and we have a self-employed, privately owned business during this time. So it's like, just breathe, it's gonna be fine. It's been quite a hit. But the good thing is, since we were doing our budget and we were doing the Dave Ramsey stuff, we are a lot better off than we could have been if we hadn't been doing this at all. We already know what the minimum is that we need to live on to get by for the next couple months. And so I'm going to share with you guys just kind of our plan. And if you're just feeling kind of hopeless, I want to try to shed a little bit of light and hope on this crazy situation. Obviously, I just want to take a minute to just be grateful that we are well right now, and hopefully your family's staying safe and well and is doing okay. Finances are stressful, but of course being sick would be so much worse. Before I jump into some things that will really help you guys through all of this craziness, I just wanted to do a quick March debt-free journey update with you guys. So because we stay really on top of our budget, we usually are done paying the monthly bills and doing our debt and everything by mid-March. So before all of this had hit, we had already paid off we had already made our student loan payment for the month and everything. So we have one very large, like almost $3,000 minimum payment for the office that doesn't come out to the end of the month. So we were able to go ahead and defer that for 90 days, I believe. So we didn't pay that this month. So that brought our total minimum payments to about $3,278 and some change. And then we did like an extra $250 before all of this started happening. So obviously once we realized that things were gonna get shut down and we were gonna lose a lot of our income, we stopped doing any extra debt payments and all of that stuff. But we did bring our total debt paid. We've paid off $66,992.65 over the last 9 months since we started all of this, with our first debt payment being June 22nd. So we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go, and hopefully the coronavirus stuff doesn't set us back too far. You know, if it's just a couple months where we have to pause this journey, we'll jump right back on, and I hope you guys will too. So 99% of my anxiety and worry, and probably yours too, is the fact that this feels so out of our control. It's nothing like any of us have probably ever seen before, and just so much uncertainty. Like, when are we going to get to go back to work? Are we going to get sick? Is this going to get worse? Is it going to get better? Are we ever going to leave our houses again? That just feels a little bit hopeless because there's no end in sight. But what we can do to kind of feel a little bit more calm is to control what we can control. You've probably heard that phrase being thrown around a ton: control the controllables. So what can you control? You can control your family's budget and what you're spending right now at home. So the good thing is, if you've ever thought you might benefit from a no-spend month, now is the time to try it, right? Because there's really nowhere to go, nothing to do, and you just need to cover your family's food, shelter, utilities, that's it, right? So you can control what you're spending. So once we've got that out of the way, we're making sure to simply cover our family's basic necessary expenses, which kind of runs me into the next thing, and that's make sure you can cover your four walls. Don't try to make any extra debt payments right now. We're pausing our debt snowball. We're just piling up any extra cash, if we have any extra at the end of this, to set aside and live on and make sure housing, food, utilities, all of that is covered. And of course, we're trying to balance our home and also our office and keep our office open as much as we can through this time. So it's definitely challenging, but if you can make sure that those four walls, transportation, housing, utilities, and food are covered, and don't worry about the other things. In most cases, all the lenders and everyone are being very graceful right now. They're overlooking late payments and things like that. If you just pick up the phone and call, most of them will give you a grace period or like 2-3 months of time before your next payment is due. Brings me to my next point. If you're really struggling right now, you lost your income, then pick up the phone and call all of your lenders. I called all of our credit cards. I called student loan company, with the exception of a couple that I've had difficulty getting a hold of because the call volume is so high right now. But getting rid of our $1,600 student loan payment right now, just deferring that, that's really helpful in our home budget. That allows us to, we can live at home on about $3,500 a month without that huge student loan payment coming through our budget. So that's going to be really, really helpful. Don't be afraid to call lenders and just ask for help. And also, use the assistance that's being given right now if you need to. Use your stimulus payment that is supposedly coming at some point to keep the lights on in your house, and you don't have to feel like you need to use it to stimulate the economy if you need it to live right now. Don't use that payment as an excuse to like go put a down payment on a car or something crazy right now. Just pile it up and use it for whatever baby step you're on if you're following the baby steps, but just use any assistance that you might need. Like in my town right now, they're doing free lunches for kids for the schools for kids 0 to 18. So that's really helpful, saves on groceries, and can be really helpful if money is tight and you lost your income right now. Another thing that you can do is find extra work if you're healthy. If you're healthy enough to go out, there are places hiring. There's like every grocery store is hiring, Amazon, all those places to kind of get your income up. So what we're doing, because we had been on Dave Ramsey's plan, we were in a position where we start off the month with like exactly how much we're gonna need. So we do our budget based on about $5,000 a month. And so when we got to the end of March, we have, you know, about $5,000 in our account. So that means we said, okay, we're gonna use that. That is our budget for April. And then we only needed about, once we deferred our student loan payments and all that stuff, we only need about $3,500 of that to live on. And so we're living on that for this month. And then any of that extra, plus we have our $1,000 emergency fund. So we could probably make it without doing anything at all through April and also May. But we're not gonna just, you know, sit and hope for the best. We're gonna find some extra work and do some extra things to still bring in income without hope. Our hope is to not have to touch anything from our office, so we can make sure that the employees that we were able to keep on payroll, we can make sure to pay them, and we can make sure to pay our rent and any essential bills at our office, and not have to also pay ourselves. And because payroll is always like the biggest expense for pretty much any office. So if we can limit that as much as possible, we can hopefully just keep our office to survive over the next couple months without having to go into more debt. There are assistance programs, that loans for small businesses that are supposed to be forgiven. So I'm investigating into all of that. But in the meantime, we're just acting like, in our heads, we're like, we're not getting any assistance, so what can we do? What can we control the controllables? What can we do ourselves to try to get ourselves out of this, pretending like there's no extra assistance? So that way, if we get any assistance, then it'll be like, great, now everything's definitely fine, and then we can go right back to our debt snowball as we were doing before. That's the hope. Do what you can, what you know to control. Pause your debt snowball. It's okay. You're not going to get that behind just over a few months, and just hope that this doesn't go on for too much longer. And hopefully, you know, people start to get better and we can get our businesses back to normal within the next couple months and kind of just resume business as usual. Then once, probably like, I mean, I'm thinking like the end of summer, early fall, then we'll look at resuming our debt snowball. But right now we're like in panic mode, pile up cash mode. The great thing would be we have this pile of cash there and we can just chunk it at our debt when we restart at the end of summer, assuming everything goes well and everything gets reopened. To summarize, pause your debt snowball. Control what you can control. So that's your budget and your spending. If you don't know how to do a budget, now is a great time to learn how to do a budget. And I'm gonna link my blog below and my free budget printables so you can start getting on that now if it's not something that you're doing. Call your lenders. Don't be afraid. Everyone's going through this. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Just call them and see what kind of help that they can offer you at this time, as in deferments or just delay in payments. Establish your 4 walls. So make sure your transportation, housing, food, and utilities can be paid. Don't worry about your Netflix subscription or anything like that until you absolutely are sure you can pay those 4 walls and protect your family. Use the assistance if you need it. That's what it's there for, this bajillion dollar stimulus thing. I wish I was well versed, but I am not. But that's what it's there for. It's to help small businesses. It's to help you guys right now if you need it. So use it. Try not to use any of this as an excuse to go further into debt. I realize that might be your only option at some point. But also, if that is something that you end up doing, don't let it discourage you. Get back on the horse once all this passes over in the next few months. Find work if you are healthy enough to. There are a lot of places hiring. If you got laid off, if both of you and your spouse lost your income and there's like nothing coming in, nothing you can do online or anything like that or work from home, then there might be an opportunity for you at Aldi, Target, Amazon, all these grocery stores and places that are hiring right now. And of course, make sure that you're cutting out any unnecessary or frivolous spending. That way you can make sure that you can cover those 4 walls and everything. And most importantly, just stay optimistic. I've been listening a lot to Dave Ramsey's podcast right now because they have like the message of hope that they've been doing every night. And if you go to daveramsey.com/hope, he has a bunch of really great deals. And I'm in no way affiliated. I'm only just a super fan. And so he's got his audiobook Total Money Makeover for like $1.99 right now, and you can also do a free 14-day trial of Financial Peace University, which is awesome because you could binge watch all of those lessons and get ready for when everything ramps back up. You could be ready to go, ready with your debt payoff plan and like all excited. Kind of seek out people that are optimistic, encouraging, and are, remind you that we will get through this. Like there's been crazy times in the past with like 2008 and 9/11 and all those things that we've been through. We will get through this, and don't listen to all the people out there that are saying, it's the end of the world and all of that stuff. You don't need that right now. So just seek out positive vibes and we will get through this. And I will continue to give you guys debt-free journey updates, even if they're just kind of what we're doing, how we're changing our budget to get through this hard time. Of course, I'm always here for you guys. If you need help with your budget, just drop me an email, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. Leave me a comment below and I'll try to help you out with any questions you might have. Thank you guys so much for always coming over to my channel and supporting me. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our debt-free journey updates. I wish you guys perfect health. I hope everyone is staying safe and enjoying this extra time with their family. Just try to control what you can control. And I will see you guys in the next one.